Hey, what's going on Facebook? Mark Avens here, creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. And, usually I'm upbeat. Usually I have lots of energy and encouragement and filled with that. And tell you what, if it was only as easy as being encouraged and motivated, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a bit of a rant, but I want it to be left by maybe some of you who may hear this as encouragement. And as I was just kind of, maybe as you did, go through looking at like high risk, who's at high risk, kind of looking at the websites. And I really am very cautious of what I watch and look and stats. And I don't even share and, publicize a lot of my thoughts, because the last thing I want to do is stir up frustration and anger. But I want to just enlighten some people on here who maybe while they were going on the CDC and the World Health Organization and looking at the stats, and as I'm scrolling through and looking through here, people that are at higher risk, and I saw some things, obviously our older people and maybe those in nursing home and immunocompromised and so forth. And then of course, one of the other things, you can come through, one of the other things is I wanted to just point out that the high risk, one of the other high risks, is severe obesity. And it's something with the nature of what I do for a living and have been doing for the past 25 years, it struck a chord with me. So partly why you're seeing maybe more of me, more present of me online and sharing and being encouraging to get you exercising, maybe looking at how you view your personal health. It's obvious, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be obviously easier for you to be more susceptible to things like coronaviruses. So, but that's not what I want to talk about and why I'm not going to rant. And I wish I could always be encouraged about this, but as I've been doing this for 25 years and see the numbers continue to grow and go up, there's definitely a part for me, as much as I'd like to rant, I'm discouraged a bit. And while I'm on there, and by all means, you can go right on there as well. And certainly you can look at all of the stats, but you can certainly just go out when we get back to normalcy and then just look around you at people without judging, is to look at the stats and look at when you go on the CDC or maybe go on the World Health Organization. And I'm on the World Health Organization right now. And I said, well, let me take a look at the stats for obesity and overweight. And again, this is not by any means fat shaming or any of that. I'm just talking real. I'm going to be real with you, because I've worked with people significantly overweight, and I've worked with people that have a little bit of weight to lose. But I want to just share with you some key facts that I'm looking at right now. How about this? As a worldwide World Health Organization, obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Those are some stats. Now in 2016, check this out, more than 1.9 billion, not million, billion adults 18 years and older were overweight, classified as overweight. Over 650 million were obese. 39% of adults age 18 years and over were overweight in 2016, and 13% were obese. Check this out. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. 40 million, this one is what kills me. 40 million children under the age of 5 were overweight or obese in 2018. That's not too long ago. They take like a year to get the stats down. So let's talk about some real stats. And I would say is my rant is, I understand why right now in the present we're very scared about what's going on right now. But how about the stuff that's been over the last 30 years? Why is it that we're so keen in on this now with what's going on here that may be hopefully temporary versus something that's been creeping up and creeping up and creeping up? Look, there's more gyms, even if they're closed right now, there's more gyms and personal trainers and coaches and nutrition plans and diets than there ever before in the history of gyms and fitness centers and coaches and self-help books and exercise plans. There's more than ever, yet we're still failing because we're still getting bigger, we're still getting more obese. And why I get so kind of like stirred up with this, and maybe this is the time that maybe you didn't know the numbers, or maybe you just didn't realize it was that big a deal because you don't technically have any health problems right now. I think that's the problem. Typically it takes until there's something that happens wrong to you, then it's time to take action versus take preventative measures to do best. And I'm not talking about being chiseled and ripped for the beach and having your six-pack abs, you know, and having your pecs that you can I'm not talking about that, or that tight little body you can fit in those skinny jeans. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about health. So with that, let's go back. Let's go to some other numbers. I just looked up this on CDC. Adult obesity facts. And this is just in the States. So the prevalence of obesity was in 2017, 2018. Check this out. 42.4%. We're not talking 0.001% or 0.1% that might die. We're talking 42.4% obese. Now, I'm not just talking that, okay, that's one thing to go through life overweight, but the repercussions of that. Let's go ahead and go there, because that's just in the next paragraph. Well, let's go back for a moment. Look at 1999, and by all means, go look this up yourself, follow along. And even if you don't trust the CDC or the World Health Organization, like I said, simply when we get back to normal, just look around you and look. And appearances, right? Okay, you can see that. It's not any surprise that that's getting worse and worse and worse. But from the prevalence of obesity in the late 90s, early 2000s, up until 2017, 2018, obesity increased from 2000, which was just 20 years ago, from 30.5% to 42.4%. And severe obese, check this out, severe obese, and I don't know the exact numbers on that, whether it's over 40% body, 40% BMI. I think it's a 40% BMI. Went from 4.7% 20 years ago to 9.2% now in the last year or two. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because we talk about healthcare and we want to have the best healthcare plans and we want to have good insurance. We're screwing ourselves, really, is what it comes down to. Everything costs more. Now, I'll just share a short experience of me when I worked back in really healthcare, now more preventative with fitness and coaching. But when I worked in the hospital, I remember working in the hospital with patients who are obese, having surgeries, knee surgeries and hip surgeries and back surgeries. And I looked at how much more it costs, everything from equipment to the beds to the amount of assistance that was needed in the hospital, so much more. It was so much more expensive. And now look, there's numbers in that too. The estimated annual medical cost of obesity in the United States, just the US, check this out. This is 2008. These aren't even like now. This is now 12 years ago, was $147 billion. Those are some stats. That's some numbers. So yes, it's okay because it's in the news and we're pulling ourselves into what the media is saying and how many are dying, all that. But check out what's been around for the last 30 years, where we've been going with as far as our personal health. That, mind you, we can control. Now, I know there's some conditions and maybe as far as things that we can't control regarding that, but 99% of them, it's the choices we make. And if you can go look at the biggest things, is we eat more and we move less. That's kind of in a nutshell what it is. But can you imagine? And check this out, the medical costs for people who are obese are $1,429 higher than those normal weight. So if you're overweight and you're not getting covered for insurance, or your stuff is more expensive, it sure as hell should be more expensive. You're taking less care of your health. Your health care should honestly require you to pay more for that. So again, while I'm encouraged, because I know as a country, and I know there are some people who may use this time and opportunity, and that's what I want to end this on, is that if this is a scare in a sense for thinking about your immune system being compromised, your health, the health of your loved ones, your family members, maybe some relatives of yours, your neighbors and so forth, is maybe this is the exact slap in the face. Maybe this is the exact punch in the head or punch in the gut or kick in the balls that you need to actually step up and start taking care of your personal health. Because if you go back to what I mentioned earlier and looked at, well, the high risk I'm looking at right now, people who are at higher risk for severe illness, and they talk about COVID-19, and it's people that are older than 65, people living in a nursing home long term. Yeah, obviously they're getting older as their immune system gets more and more compromised. Just in general sense, it's going to be at a higher risk. People with chronic lung disease. So if you have lung disease or you're a heavy smoker, if you're like staying inside and puffing on cigarettes and worried about it, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? And again, I'm not perfect by no means, but I am taking steps to improve my personal health on a daily basis. Well, maybe I'm not as concerned as maybe the person who's overweight, obese, smoking, who's immunocompromised and really, really older. But I would say is here, people of any age with severe obesity, any age, severe obesity, any age, and that's BMI of over 40. So again, and underlying conditions, heart conditions, things like that. Think of all the things right now that obesity causes problems to down the road. And you hear of the heart disease, all those, the problems that are caused by our own choices that we make. So let me just encourage you, if this, like I said, back to the slap in the face, the punch in the head, the kick in the balls that you might need, this might be a great opportunity. In fact, if you're maybe overweight, all right, there we go. Sorry, I lost you for a second. I know tons of coaches and trainers, really good ones, who are making a difference, who are helping people who are obese, who are helping them lose weight on their coaching programs, the ways that they can have online, in person. I know coaches in person as well, but I don't right now. Now is not the time to make excuses. Oh, well, my gym's not there, and you know what, I can't get the fresh fruit, and I can't do this. There's a lot of things. You can become the victim in this, or you can actually be the victor, and maybe this is the exact time that you need to say, dang it, you know what? I've been, you know, just kicking myself and going around that cul-de-sac and trying that New Year's resolution, trying that quick fix, trying those things, and nothing is working. And maybe now is the time that I can make a difference. Whether you hire a coach or look to somebody like me, an expert that can help you on the right path with the right plan and give you the accountability that you need. I'll tell you what, people talk about this, man, it's expensive to work with a coach like you. It's not nearly as expensive as it is going to be if you do nothing, if you get worse, if your body and your health gets worse. And I'll tell you what, if you don't like to hear what I said, just go look at the stats. The stats aren't getting any better. 40%. Trust me, 40% from 30% to 40% in the last 20 years. Let's just say if that goes another 20 years, 50%, half of the world being obese and overweight. We're going to have far more problem than any kind of virus that comes around that might kill or might, you know, get a small percentage of people sick. So sorry about the rant, but I'm telling you, I've been doing this not just for a week or a month, or I'm not just jumping on the fitness bandwagon because I had a little weight loss success. I've been pushing people to better health since 1995. 25 years. So when we were at 30% maybe in obesity here in this country, and it jumped 10%, I've been working with people who are taking those steps, who have lost the weight, who have improved their health, who have made themselves less of a risk because they've taken better care, because they've invested in themselves. They've invested time. It's not beyond just investing in a coach. You have to put the work in. You have to do some planning. You have to make a choice whether you want to sit back and just let your health take control of you, or are you going to go through life and honestly say, no, my body is mine. I'm going to tell it what it's going to do. I'm going to choose what I put in for fuel. I'm going to choose the exercise. I'm going to get the help I need. I'm not going to try to figure it out on my own, because I'm not me personally, but you're saying this to yourself. You're not necessarily the fitness expert. Can you go work out for free? Sure. Can you go lose weight and do that? If you're not, then it may be right now the time to get yourself a hold of somebody like me. Again, I'm not the only guy out there, but I can tell you, I do get people results. I help them get on the right path. I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in it. Can I help every single person out there? Absolutely not. In fact, I'm not the right coach for a lot of people out there. But for those who are serious, particularly parents, moms and dads over 40, in my age demographic, 40s and 50s, those are the ones that are coming into my world to realizing that they can't do it on their own. It's worth the investment. Their health is worth it. Their family is worth it. They're making sure that they become the best and healthiest they can be is the most valuable investment. Here's the deal. When you invest in yourself, there's not going to be a market crash. I can tell you that. So while your finances may be going up and down and up and down and up and down, I can almost guarantee you. Now, we don't know when our time is up, so I can't say whether I'm going to live another day or you're going to live another day. But wouldn't it be a good safe bet when you're investing in your health and investing in steps, not being perfect? Enjoy a glass of wine, enjoy a cigar, or, you know, a cigarette here and there. I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying if you're pulling more in that direction versus the direction that's going to improve your health, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I can tell you, it's so much more fun being healthier and fit. Everything gets better. Everything gets better on a physical standpoint, mental standpoint. People are like, how are you hanging in there? Why is your stress levels? I know a lot of people right now whose stress levels aren't that bad because they've been taking care of their health, their personal health, their mental health. They're doing meditation. They have time to unwind and decompress. They're able to filter that. They have a good community of people around them. Maybe if it's socially distanced or not. That's the difference. And if you don't have that, reach out to me and I'll do whatever I can to help you get on the right path. So that's all I have. Excuse the rant. Well, not really. If you needed to hear this, if you're that person that's maybe becoming at risk, or you're the one that's going to be at high risk because you haven't been taking care of yourself, again, last time, this might be the slap in the face. This might be the punch in the head. This might be the kick in the balls that you need to actually get something started today. If you need help, reach out to me. Again, I'm a coach. I do this online. Here's the beautiful thing. If your gym is shut down, if you can't do personal training, my clients are still working out. They're still moving forward, business as usual, because all of my coaching is done online. I have clients that are in Afghanistan, in Alaska. I have one in Egypt. I'm working with clients all over the world. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where I'm at in this world. It doesn't matter what's going on. We can still pursue and start taking steps to better health. And you can actually start today. All you got to do is reach out to me. So anyway, I hope this maybe bothered you a little bit. I don't want it to be always soft and relaxing and encouraging and that. There's reality, and what I just shared now is a bit of reality. So take care and God bless. We'll see you.